Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Sober School, where you can always find experience, strength, and hope. My name is Drew. I'm an alcoholic. We want to welcome you to this platform here today, regardless of what your addiction may be. You are absolutely welcome here. We support your pathway, all pathways, not just mine or everyone else's, but your pathway to recovery. And whichever pathway it is that you choose, well, we are absolutely here to help. And we definitely want to make sure that it works for you. If you're watching this through our Recovery Classroom Facebook group page, this is a private group when we want to welcome you. We also want to encourage you to share your own experience, strength, and hope, and your own words of wisdom. You never know who needs to hear what it is you might have to say, and it could just change someone's life, including your own. Last night at the Crosstalk meeting, I absolutely love that meeting. I just love the way it's done. I've never been in a meeting like these Crosstalk meetings, and I'm thankful for them because I got so much out of the meetings. Matter of fact, I got 3 topics. They handed me the cards, and I got 3 topics I want to talk about today that came from the Crosstalk meeting. To give you some backstory, though. This first topic I'm going to talk about, I was on a phone call a couple weeks ago, and this person said, hey, I'd like to know about this. And I was like, I'm the world's worst. You don't want me to talk about that because that is absolutely one of my worst character defects ever, And I said, but I tell you what, in all fairness, let me get through a couple other things. I think I was going through step 2 at the time. Let me get through a couple other things, and I will come back to it. I promise you. And so anyway, I thought back to that phone call last night because when I got home, I saw this very topic in the bucket, and I said, I owe somebody this. And so I'm now going to start with this topic, but the worst topic for me ever. It's called responsibilities. I'm the world's worst at being responsible. I'm the world's worst at balancing things. I am absolutely probably the last person you would ever want to hear talk about responsibilities because I just suck at it. And the person that I was speaking to about this originally, I believe the context was around family life and kids and how to balance and how to juggle all these different responsibilities. And so again, that's why I'm the world's worst. Ask anyone in my family. But I was thinking back to it too, though, because, when I was drinking, I was the worst at responsibilities then. Right? I mean, I was in more of a hurry up and get to the liquor store, buy my booze, spend my money on my booze so I could get home and start drinking rather than spending my money on my bills, paying my bills. I was always in a hurry to get home and stay home so I could start drinking, making every excuse in the world not to have to go out so I didn't have to run my kids somewhere so I could stay home and drink. So I was the king of not being responsible back whenever I was drinking. Now that I'm sober, I've gotten a little bit better at it, but I'm still pretty bad. Great example is a couple weeks ago, I was really going through some stuff. It was a stressful time for me. And so I did what I was taught to do. I got myself locked into the rooms, locked into meetings, locked into the fellowship. Whenever I wasn't in a meeting, I was working with somebody, another drug addict, another alcoholic. I was talking to them on the phone or meeting with them out somewhere, doing things with them. I was doing that intentionally. And in that same period, I was neglecting my family. I'll be the first one to admit it. Again, this is one of my biggest character defects and fatal flaws, I guess is what I would call it. But with all that being said, I think back to the gym and how I used to always say you had to protect your time at the gym because that gym is the time where you get to rebuild yourself. The gym, when you go to the gym and you work out, and it may be the gym for me, it may be something different for you, but for me, when I go to the gym, it's my time to take care of myself, to focus on me a little bit. And I look at my meetings the same way. That's my time for me to focus on me and my spirituality and my mental health. And so even now, I look at moments and I go, okay, I need this meeting. I need this meeting tonight because I may be going through something in that day. With that being said, since a couple weeks ago, I've done a lot better job at kind of trying to balance. And like I typically try to hit 3 to 4 meetings a week now. Actually about 3 meetings a week while I'm able to be available and for my family should they need something or take care of things around my house. I'm terrible about my yard work too, that's for sure. But So I hope that covers it. Like I said, for me, my meetings are is kind of like the equivalent of me going to the gym and working out. I have to protect that time. Now, again, you can go overboard in the gym, just as I go overboard sometimes with meetings and the fellowship of AA. Yeah, I absolutely do that. But that's where balance, the human body is known for homeostatic balance, that having everything balanced out. Well, unfortunately, that's one area that I still need to work on, and I'm going to continue working on that. The second thing is trust. The second topic I want to talk about real quick is trust. I had no trust. I had burnt all the trust bridges with my family whenever I was drinking. They didn't believe a word I'd say. They'd see me, but my son especially, he'd catch me turning up a bottle, and I'd say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll quit. And he knew better. I remember he was like 10 years old. He looked at me and said, "Bullshit." So, I wonder where he gets that mouth from. Not for me. So I'd burnt all the trust with my family. My wife would, like, "Are you drinking?" "No, it's just the Listerine. It's the mouthwash." Or, "No, it's this food I ate," or whatever. I spent all those years lying to the people closest to me, lying to the people around me, lying to myself. And fortunately, I've been blessed that since I started my recovery journey, I have earned that trust back. It took time. It wasn't something immediate. I was talking to my son, it's been a while ago, but I asked him, I said, "How long was it before you started trusting me again? How long into my sobriety was it before you started trusting me again?" And he told me it was about somewhere around 6 to 7 months into my sobriety before he started going, "Okay, maybe Dad's telling the truth." And so we have that opportunity. We burnt that bridge of trust really fast, right? That sumbitch went up in flames. So we can't expect it to be rebuilt overnight. It's going to take time to rebuild trust. And I will say this too, just on the same thread, there is one person I do not trust. There's only one person I absolutely do not trust on this planet. You know who that is? This guy, me. I don't trust myself. I know who I am. I know how I am. I know that how easy it is for me to fall back into old patterns and old habits. So while I'm rebuilding trust with the people closest to me, I'm also keeping in mind that I can't trust myself. Again, that's why I stay connected to the rooms. That's why I stay connected to my higher power. And the last topic I want to touch on is appreciation. For me, these three kind of went hand in hand. When I was drinking and I wasn't responsible, I wasn't paying my bills, the shit was getting turned off, or whatever. And I was burning those bridges of trust. Why would anybody show me appreciation? Why would anybody appreciate me? And then I would get depressed because nobody was appreciating me. Nobody was appreciating my efforts at getting drunk. circular logic, if there ever was any. But then there was also another aspect of that too. I wasn't showing appreciation to anybody because I wasn't thinking about anybody. I wasn't putting other people first. I was putting my alcoholism first. And so it was like I was expecting people to appreciate me, but I wasn't appreciating anybody. The only time I appreciated you was when you gave me a bottle of Wild Turkey or, Crown Royal. That was it. That was the only appreciation I showed for you. So with all that being said, once we get clean and sober, once we start taking on a little bit of responsibility and learning how to balance it, which I'm still the worst at, gotten better, but still the worst. Once we start rebuilding those bridges of trust, we're going to start feeling appreciated because we'll see it. People, a gentleman in the meeting last night said this, our children especially, but others out on the outside of us will see the changes before we ever see the changes. And so they'll start appreciating, they'll start rebuilding that trust. Sometimes whenever we don't even know it's being rebuilt, it's happening. So I want to encourage you today, if you're thinking that, I can't get sober, I can't get clean, I can't stay clean, you can. You have an opportunity because you're breathing. If you don't feel appreciated, you can start feeling appreciated, but it takes work. You can rebuild those relationships, some of those, maybe even all those relationships, rebuilding those bridges of trust, but it takes work. And that work starts with you accepting the responsibilities that God has given you. But that too takes work. So I want to encourage you today. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober, and I assure you, I appreciate it, and so too does my family. So with that being said, I'll let you guys go. Hope you guys have a kick-ass Saturday. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.